Hi, I'm Joy La Roche, and I'm here to talk with you about possibly the most important member of your sales team, your website. Now, most businesses in this day and age don't realize what an opportunity they have in their website, but let's talk about that for a minute. Your website is available 24 hours a day and 7 days a week and every day of the year. It never takes a sick day, doesn't go on vacation, and probably the best part is your website does what you tell it to do. Let's talk about the case for why you should consider enhancing your web presence. First of all, people are spending at least 10 hours a week online. That's the same amount of time people are spending watching television. That's an incredible amount of time for you to make a statement to your best prospects. The interesting thing is only 10% of budgets are being spent on online channels. So up to 10 hours per week are being spent online, yet less than 10% of money is being spent reaching those people online. What we do know about online marketing is that it enjoys a lower cost per lead than traditional marketing media such as print, radio, TV, Yellow Pages, and direct mail. It also enjoys a higher conversion rate than those other forms of marketing as well. Probably because when someone goes online, they're able to proactively search for their offerings instead of a passive glance of a marketing message that you have for them. So if your searchers are looking online, you need to be where they are. One of the best reasons for you to consider looking harder at your web presence is that it's a dynamic tool. It's one that's easily changed, it's affordable, and there's lots of providers out there who can help you make a statement online. Now there's 4 critical areas when you're talking about improving your web presence. And those 4 areas are look, message, action, and findability. First, there's the look of your website. It's very important for you to create a good first impression on your website with the look. You want to make a valuable first impression to your audience. Well, there's no other way to do that than the look of your website. Of course, you'll want to leverage your branding, meaning you'll want to match your colors, your logos, any imagery or graphical elements that you use. It's important to keep it consistent with your online presence, the same you do with your offline channels. Another thing is you want to match the personality of your company to the look and feel of your website. That means if you have a more corporate, professional image, you'll want to keep your website simple, not too many colors, not too complicated of a look. Whereas if you do have a more fun-loving commercial website, a consumer-based product for example, you may be able to have a little bit more latitude with being more fun-loving or colorful on the website. Now, probably the most important area of the look of your website is usability. Studies have shown that you could be losing up to 1/3 of your web visitors because they find your website hard to navigate and they don't find the information they're looking for quickly and easily. Now, that is just too many users to give up because of a simple thing like usability. So you'll want to be sure when you're considering the look and layout of your website that you make it easy to find information and contact you for a purchase or for more information. Secondly, there's the message of your website. What is your website saying to your customers? You'll want to make sure that you have a clear and concise value proposition, meaning why should a prospect consider buying your product or service? Next, you'll want to be sure to mention what your differentiators are. Why should someone buy your product or service over your competitors? Also, with regards to your message, you'll want to think about your content. You'll want to make your language short and in bullet format because people tend to read and absorb more effectively and quickly when you keep your content simple. Next, there's the action on your website. You want to tell your customers what to do instead of just expecting them to know what to do once they get there. It's one step to make your website look appealing. Secondly, you'll want to make sure that the message is clear, but what do you want your prospects to do once they get to your website? Well, I expect that you'll want to ask them to contact you or ask them for a purchase. There are several different calls to action on a website, including your contact button, which is probably the most obvious, but don't stop there. There are lots of other ways that you can engage your visitors. For example, you can offer them a chance to download a free white paper, join a newsletter, view your case studies, and you know what? Get creative and think outside of the box on different ways to engage your visitors. It doesn't have to be as simple as just a contact button. Think creatively about what promotion could compel your visitors to want to contact you and get more information. Finally, findability is key. Your website won't do you any good if someone can't find you on the web. One of the most important things you can do for your web presence is make sure that your website is easy to find for your prospects. You can do that with a variety of strategies such as search engine optimization, pay-per-click marketing, and other things such as submitting articles and editorials, or listing yourself in industry service guides or local listings on search engines. There are lots of ways for you to become findable. You'll need to research ways that are most cost-effective for your business. Now, we've talked about a couple of critical areas for you to enhance your web presence. First is the look of your website. You'll want to make sure that you give your customers a great impression of your business. Secondly, the message of your website. Is it clear and concise, and can people get where they need to go easily? Thirdly, action. Do you ask people what you want them to do on your website instead of just letting them meander around your website? And finally, findability. Can your prospects find you when they're looking for your product or service? The web can be an amazing tool, but it does require you to allocate time, effort, and an adequate amount of resources to make it worth your while. So I'd encourage you to look again at the topics I've talked about. Take another look at your website, and does it measure up, and are you using it as the effective tool that it is? If you have any questions about the items I've talked about, feel free to research. There are plenty of online resources for you. I also encourage you to call me or email me with additional questions. I'd like to thank Comcast for the opportunity to come and talk with you about how to enhance your web presence, and be sure to visit the Comcast Business Resource Center often to get updates on critical business issues like this.